One of the things that I wanted to share in today's video as I share books and curriculum that we're doing are just more little tips here and there of how I'll make these things work for my multiple age children. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Christina, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you all about our book choices and book studies for the upcoming school year. So this is going to be mostly read alouds and then book studies and curriculum that go along with those read alouds. So I've been sharing curriculum choices a little bit all over the place this year, and it's because unlike last year when I had a specific curriculum video for each of the grade levels of my children, this year I'm just kind of going with the flow and deciding as I go. So I've shared as I've made decisions, I've shared little by little, and I'll try to remember to link those videos down below in the description box and maybe create a playlist for you guys if you want to see the scope of what we're doing. But I will also have more updated videos as I make more solid decisions on each of the grade level choices for my children. As you know, I have made many of those decisions, but I'm leaving room for changes. I'm leaving room to discover something and realize that we do have room to add it in. I'm leaving room to see where my kids are at a month, 6 months into the school year and make changes accordingly. So even with the books that I'm sharing with you today, and I'll explain as I go, everything is subject to change. So I tried to really prioritize the books that we're doing surrounding our homeschool priorities for the upcoming school year. I shared those a couple of months ago, and I'll try to find that video and link it down below as well. But just to give you a recap, many of those priorities for the upcoming school year have to do with things like discipleship, apologetics, connection over curriculum, interest-led learning, those sorts of things, instead of being driven by a specific year-long curriculum structure. And so although I'm not against those things, this year I'm really not going to be boxed in by a lot of like year-long curriculums for each of my kids, for each of the subjects. I've shared a lot on that, so I will leave it at that for now. If you want to know more about it, you can go back and watch those videos. But I do want to share with you the books that I'm prioritizing for our school year. This is not all of what we will read this upcoming school year. We will have, I'm sure, other books that we discover or come across that connect with things that we're learning that we want to read, or just because we find it interesting and we will read it. The kids will read books independently, but these are kind of like the core books that I would like for us to get to this year and how we'll be using them. If you're new, I have 5 children ages 2 through 14, and so I try to take that into consideration as well. But let me just jump into what we are reading in no particular order. I know that I am going to prioritize something that I got last year that we did not use, and you may remember it, and that is the curriculum To Every Nation, a study of 12 missionaries and their great God. This is from Not Consume Ministries, and I've shared their like family Bible studies before, and I did share this last year in my curriculum picks that I got this for my older 2 boys. So I have 2 of these for my older 2 boys. I still plan on only using the curriculum portion for just them. However, I want to share with you something that I'm really excited about, and I have partnered with YWAM Publishing to get you guys an amazing deal on a bundle of 5 of the Christian Heroes books. So I have curated a collection of 5 of the books that are in this curriculum that you can get at a discounted price, cheaper than you can get if you bought all of these separately. And so I will link the bundle down below. It is a great deal. This is the lowest possible deal that you can get for 5 of the Christian Heroes Then and Now books. And like I said, I chose these based on the ones that were in this curriculum. It has daily and weekly lesson plans that show you how to use it along with these books. So it is designed to be used with these books, but you don't have to use it with these books. So I would highly recommend that if you are going to get this curriculum from Not Consume Ministries, which I will link down below, that you take advantage of this 5-book bundle at the discounted price. It will run for 2 months. After that, the promotion is over, but in the meantime, this will be available for purchase for a limited time at this price. Also, I want to say you do not need to do that curriculum to read these books. If you are not familiar with the Christian Heroes Then and Now books, they are incredible missionary stories, and they are a main component of what I want to focus on this year in my homeschool with my kids, in learning about discipleship and faith and apologetics and all of those things. So really excited to team up with YWAM Publishing for this one and to actually jump into that curriculum and these books this year. So that's number one. Those are like our top priority. I always like to share with you guys though how I tie different curriculums in together. I'm definitely more of an eclectic homeschooler in that regard, that I find different pieces of things that I like from different places and find connections. So one thing that I noticed that I really loved in here, for example, is that you do some work about the missionary, about the place where they served as a missionary, and then there is a character trait that you focus on that connects to them as well. And so you have to do some research about the place that they were a missionary. I don't love my kids spending a ton of time on the internet. I don't like them getting on screens more than necessary. And so I always like to have resources available for them. And then if they can't find what they're looking for, then we'll research online. But I will definitely pull books about China. And I also printed this beautiful little unit study. It's from Thistles and Biscuits. I haven't talked about Thistles and Biscuits as much lately, but if you've been around my channel for a while, you know that I love Thistles and Biscuits. They have such a wide variety of beautiful resources at a very low price, very reasonable, and they have lots of country studies, they have lots of flashcards, they have a music curriculum that we'll be using this year, and so many wonderful things. So this one is about China, and I chose to bind this even though it was small, and I did not print and bind the student pages. So I made more of like a teacher's guide version. And I love this. It has a Chinese proverb. It has recipes, which my kids are going to love. You learn about the flag of China. There is a map in here, and they do map work with it. There is a book list in the back, which I'll show you too. It always comes with book lists. And this is a study of a female painter from China. And then here's the book list, which I will sift through and choose some books from. And so I will tie this in with this when we're learning about the missionaries that served in China. And there are at least 2 or 3 in the first half that I went through and noticed were from China, which made me decide, okay, there's a lot of talk of China, let's study China a little bit. And it will be a little bit of review because 2 years ago we did do the Asia unit study from Gather Round Homeschool, which obviously focused on all or most of Asia, and then we'll zero in a little bit and kind of circle back around to China and missionaries, and I just love all the connections. Here are some of the flashcards that go along with the unit, which are so beautifully done. I printed these on cardstock. They have copy work in that little unit. There are some coloring pages, so I'll use these for my younger kids. One of the things that I wanted to share in today's video as I share books and curriculum that we're doing are just more little tips here and there of how I'll make these things work for my multiple age children. My younger kids can color. My older 3 will do map work, 7, 11, and 14. Again, copy work. Let's see, there's a crossword, so I'll use this as kind of like an end of unit. It's not a quiz or a test. I don't quiz or test if you're new around here, but this is just a way to check in and see if they kind of remember some things from the unit. So super cute unit, super simple, ties in beautifully with the To Every Nation study that we're doing. So that's that one. What do I want to share with you next? Okay, the next one I will share with you, I am really, really excited about, because if you remember last year, I meant to read the Little House books last year. We did read Farmer Boy, but that's as far as we got. That went with our farming and food unit from Gather Round Homeschool. But we didn't get to any of the other books, and I've been meaning to. And the last month or so, I'd been thinking I'd really like to do like a simple curriculum with the Little House books. Even though I don't think it's necessary, I want to say that full disclosure, we read plenty of books that we do no curriculum, no writing, we just enjoy the read alouds. So I don't want you to think that that's necessary for this to be valuable with reading to your kids, but I just wanted to, I don't know. So then I came across the Playful Pioneers from the Peaceful Press. Now, if you missed my interview, my live interview with Jennifer Pepito over on Instagram, you'll have to go back and watch it because she just released a new book called Mothering by the Book, and it's all about read alouds and how they actually ministered to her in overcoming fear and recapturing joy in motherhood. And so I started looking into her curriculum more. I do have one of her units that I've been saving to use. It's the Meadow one from the Peaceful Preschool that I plan to do with my 3 almost 4-year-old. When he gets a little bit older, he's not quite there yet. And I also toyed around with doing the Peaceful Preschool curriculum with him this year. But if you saw my Let's Chat Preschool video, I don't really want to commit at this point to a year-long preschool curriculum, even though that one is probably the most gentle one I've seen and is definitely on my list of choices if I end up getting to the point where I want to use one. I'm not opposed to it, but I already have a bunch of resources that I want to use with him, things that I've created, things that I've saved from mega bundles. And so I don't want to like overload us with things that I feel like I need to get to with him. He's super young and I want him to just enjoy that. However, this Playful Pioneers curriculum is all about American history through living books. And it's like a Charlotte Mason approach. It's very gentle. It is recommended for ages 5 through 12. So I will be reading through these books with all of my kids as read alouds. And we will be going through like the poetry and the Bible verses and things that are in here. It's so beautifully done. I was honestly blown away as I went through it. I will link this down below for you as well. I have a code for you to get 10% off from the Peaceful Press for any of their curriculums, whether it be the Peaceful Preschool or the kindergarten nature themed curriculum or Playful Pioneers. And so there are so many things that I'm excited about with this curriculum. I also love that you could use this as your spine of your entire year, which is something I didn't realize, but as I was reading through it, the schedule that it gives you basically the schedule that you could use as a spine for your entire year. So it gives you the schedule for what you're using from here, but then it also schedules in like your math and your phonics. And she does give recommendations for things that she likes and things that she used for those. But obviously you can use whatever you've already chosen or whatever you choose to use. This is structured as an 8-month program. Now, once again, I will use the calendar as a guide, but if this takes us 2 years, I'm totally fine with that because this is not the main thing that we'll be using. But I do really love how it uses living books to talk about American history and utilizes poetry and Bible. The other reason that I really wanted to get this curriculum is because another book that I had my eye on for a while now that's been shared a lot is theology, and it also uses theology as one of the books in this curriculum. So we will be trying out the Playful Pioneers. I'm not sure exactly when we'll be starting it because I don't like to start all of my curriculum at the same time. I like to slowly taper things in. So I'll be sharing more things about scheduling in the upcoming weeks, about how we structure our days, about how we'll structure our school year, about how I schedule, different things like that. So be on the lookout for that. So we probably will not start this for another month, I would say at this point, but I will keep you guys posted. However, one more thing that I wanted to share is that it is a PDF download, but she does give you a link and a discount code to get this all printed or parts of it printed at a discounted cost. I have not decided yet if I'm going to do that. So in the meantime, I only printed the first 2 months. So obviously this would be a much bigger teacher's guide. I printed the first 2 months so that we were ready to go in case we do decide to outsource the printing, so that if we were waiting, we weren't actually waiting to start. So just some things to think about with logistics with that. But I am so excited because, like I said, I've been wanting to read these books with my kids. We did read Farmer Boy and Visit the Wilder Homestead, which is only a few hours away from us. And it was just such a great experience. And I'm really excited to continue the Little House journey with the Playful Pioneers curriculum as our guide. I also want to mention that they have the elementary student books, they have the copy work available in print, they have the copy work available in cursive, and all of that comes as part of your purchase of the Playful Pioneers curriculum. There are cookbook recipes and art studies and just so much included. I was just really impressed and blown away when I started to sift through this. So definitely go check this out. It's linked down below. 2 more main things that I want to share with you. The next one I did share on Instagram maybe a month ago, and that is the Tuttle Twins books. I got the complete set of books from book 1 through book 12. We have read the first 2 already, and we loved these books. I read these with all of my kids. Obviously, it's over my 2 and 3-year-olds' heads. My 7-year-old starts to grasp it, and my 11 and 14-year-olds honestly are super into it. What I love is that there are glossaries and discussion questions in the back to dig deeper with your older kids and to discuss, and we have been really loving these. I also have a link down below to the Tuttle Twins books. Definitely check them out if you're not familiar. They also have workbooks, so you could use these as part of like an actual curriculum by getting and downloading their workbooks and really digging in even further with these books. I'm trying not to overload myself and my kids, so I have not done that yet, but I did take a look at it and I have thought about it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll take it really slow and decide that we do one of these a month and we do the workbooks. It's like the fun activities to go with it. So I'll keep you posted on exactly how we plan to use these, but I know that I want to read through these, or at least most of these, this school year. It's just such a wonderful way to learn about the world and the things around us and the things that we often take at face value, but we may need to think deeper about. So definitely check these out down below, Tuttle Twins. Almost last, but the last major thing is and I think I shared this on Instagram again a couple of months ago, and we are going to do this Secret Garden book study. This is created by Bonnie Hunt and obviously goes along with the book, The Secret Garden. These back here are a bunch of like the student pages that I can show you. There's a ton of copy work. So there's copy work for each chapter of the book. I printed the teacher's guide, which is so well done, you guys. So this was part of the summer book club from For the Love of Homeschooling, which I did contribute to, and it is still available. I'm not sure how much longer it's available for, but I will link it down below for you if you're interested. It was an amazing deal. You got book studies to go along with a wide range of books from like toddlers through teens, you guys. So I've utilized many of them already. This is one that I plan to do in the summer that we didn't get to, and I was okay with that because I didn't want to overload us, but it is one we will do this school year. This is incredibly done, incredibly done. So there is vocabulary included. There is things like learning about flowers that are mentioned, learning about cholera, discussion questions. There are QR codes. You learn some Yorkshire and try to learn how to say and understand the words that are used. And it is just so beautifully done. So I'm going to do this with all of my children, and I just wanted to share with you how I'm going to make that work. So for copy work, my oldest 3 will do copy work, and I have a variety from the library. I have a variety of Secret Garden versions. So I have like just the standard book version. I have the graphic novel, which my 11-year-old actually grabbed and read in like an hour one day. So this is here. And I have a couple of illustrated versions. So when I introduce the unit, this one doesn't have a ton of illustrations, but you'll see I have quite a variety. So this is basically just a slightly illustrated version. When I introduce the unit, I will put all of these different versions on the table. We'll flip through and talk about the different illustrations and illustrators, and I'll let them choose their version of the book that they want for this unit. And here is one that is a little bit more illustrated. I do have a reel on Instagram where I shared these as well. I also got the 10-minute classics, so I'll read this probably. I can't decide if I want to read it before we start because I don't know if it's too much of a spoiler, but maybe at the end or something like that as a way to review. I don't know. I really like this though, especially for like my 7-year-old. You know, it's more of a storybook version. And then lastly, this was just a cool tie-in. I got The Secret Garden of George Washington Carver. I love to make connections to other books, to history, to real life. And so I grabbed this one as well. And I'm really excited to include this one in our book study. The reason I wanted to share that is because we are doing it, but also because if you can still snag that deal, it is such a killer deal. And there's also a new fall book club coming out that I'm contributing to that will be, I'm sure, just as amazing. And that'll be coming out in the next few weeks. So keep your eye out for that. If you're still deciding on read alouds or even independent reads for all of your different age children, getting one of those book club bundles are so helpful because we read through books that I would have never thought to choose on my own, or I just never would have come across, and it's been really fun. And we'll be using some of those in the summer book club bundle for years to come, because they're not all like summer themed books. And I'm sure the same will go for the fall book bundle, which is why I'm leaving room to add in, because I know there are bound to be books and units that I want to do from there. Last little series that I want to share with you that I definitely think I shared in the past that we still have not gotten to. I feel like I've had this book for at least 6 months, maybe longer, and we still have not started it. I want to start The Secret of the Hidden Scrolls series. I have just the first book because I calmed down for once and didn't buy the whole series up front. I figured we would try it, but I have heard so many good things about it, and it definitely ties in with our goals and focuses and purposes for the upcoming school year. And so definitely excited about these. Let me know if you've read these. Let me know if you've read The Secret Garden with your kids, if you like the Tuttle Twins books, if you've used any of the Peaceful Press curriculum, because it'll be my first time. So I'll keep you guys posted, but I have a feeling I'm gonna love it. And if you've read the Christian Heroes Then and Now, what are your favorite ones? Have you tried any of the Not Consume Ministries curriculums? Tell me all the things. And what are you guys reading this upcoming school year, because I am always looking for book recommendations, and I get so excited to hear what other families are loving and seeing if it's something that we might love as well. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. I hope you found some inspiration here today. Remember that everything that I shared will be linked down in the description box below with discount codes for the things that I do have codes for you guys. If you're new here, I would love if you'd introduce yourself down in the comments. I love to get to know you guys. If you're not already following me over on Instagram, you can follow me there at rooted_homelife. And I want to remind you that for just a couple more days, the back to school mega bundle is still happening. So definitely check that out. I'll link that down there as well if you're looking for fun unit studies and things to do for the upcoming school year. So I hope to see you soon in one of my next videos. And until next time, stay rooted.